Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Make some noise!
Tune in at 7 a.m. and hear Pete Shepard till 10. And then Defo and Luby from 10 a.m. till noon. And then the man himself, Tony Bruno, and the Tony Bruno Show starts at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Martinez Company from 6 p.m. to 8. And we've got more to come. The Tony Bruno Sports Network. Download the app. Tell your friends the game is on. TBSN.
It feels good to see the world getting loose. Feels good to see the world getting loose. I don't know about you, Sack Noel. I don't know about you, Phenom. I don't know about you, White Shadow. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good. I'm 2 plus 2, I'm for show. You down, I'm down, baby, let's go. You stop, you drop, baby, then roll. You twerk, you pop, booty so swole. I'd hate me too if I were you. And when it comes to billions, I'll take 2. It's only one life, you don't get 2. So live life, don't let it live you.
I got a pocket full of $100 bills. Put on a jacket, cause these diamonds give you chills. 2 shots are running, 2 out, I'm stunning tonight. Yeah. Look in the mirror, I'm like, who the hell is he? So many whips and cribs, I'm losing track of keys. Ooh, up to something. Ooh, yeah, I love it, alright.
Yeah, I'm drinking out the bottle. Get loose, hanging with supermodels. Get loose, feel like I hit the lotto. I don't know about you, but I feel good.
And with that, as we always start off the night with a little bit of Pitbull, I feel good. Welcome. It is Thursday night here in Tampa, Florida, and wherever you are, out there at the Jersey Shore as well, where Rich is. It is Martinez Company. Welcome to a Thursday night live action-packed show, 6 to 8 p.m. Martinez Company, Angel Martinez, Rich Quinones with you here on the Tony Bruno Sports Network. You guys can also see us over on the Tony Bruno Sports Network Facebook page. Also, if you guys are watching us over on Twitter, you can. Instagram, not so much. It stopped for some reason, but no big deal, because eventually, maybe later on, I could just work on it and get it all done. And so if you guys saw us last time on Instagram, tonight, maybe not as much, so we'll try and get it fired up again as we spread the word out, because you guys know Tony Bruno, they got him out of retirement. They pulled him out and brought him back in so he can entertain everyone, as Kuwait has made us number 4. And by the way, when you guys once again hear that, Tony will reference that they made it the number 4 downloaded podcast, because after the live show is done here on the digital airwaves, then they transform it into the podcast download so everybody can do it. So if you guys are confused, we are live. It is actual digital air. Just to let everybody know, this is a digital radio station, just like same way, Sports Radio 102.9. Same thing. Only difference is, here we do things more unique, where we get people from Miami. We get folks from Cape Coral. We got folks in Sarasota. Us here in Tampa. Rich over at the Jersey Shore. No other network in the world today is doing what we are doing, and that's why the Tony Bruno Sports Network is the best network on the planet. So thank you all for joining us here. We thank you for tuning in each and every night. We thank you for the comments you guys have been leaving behind. There's been some nice ones, and we do appreciate it. Also, if you guys want to get a hold of us, you can here, as the phone lines are open at 844-644-TONY. That is 844-644-8669. And for my Spanish-speaking folks, in case you don't know what it is, if you hit number 2 on your phone right now, it is 844-644-TONY. 844-644-8669. And then you hit number 1, you're right back here to English. So lots to get into, as apparently last night when we were on the air, as we talked about Draymond Green and things happening to him. And then if you guys caught us over at Talking Hoops afterwards, we dropped the news then that obviously the suspension, which Rich, you thought it should have been like a 15, 20 game warranted suspension. Apparently the NBA had other thoughts.
Yeah, indefinite suspension. It's becoming such a joke, the NBA. It really is. From what transpired the other day, pardon me, with Draymond Green, and then last night with Giannis wanted to take the ball and go home, which I'm sure we'll get into in a couple moments. But it had to be done, but I'll throw this out to you, Angel, get your thoughts on it, and
Sure.
everyone listening in as well. I'm looking at this Warriors squad right now. The dynasty's over. It's done. That dog is not going to hunt anymore, right? So you got to deal with Draymond. Klay Thompson's getting benched. Kerr's not going to come out and really say anything derogatory about his players. He's going to try to back them and protect them. And then you got my guy, Steph Curry, who's just sitting there, still in his prime, 35, 36 years of age, future Hall of Famer, MVP, champion. I would wait about 2 more weeks if I'm Steph Curry. And then you know what I would say? I would go right up to the brass and say, get me the frig out of here. Because they're going absolutely nowhere. You got to deal with Green and Thompson and Kerr and the Western. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. And I'm telling you right now, you're going to hear some talk. You're going to kind of follow the footprints, if you will. If he's disgruntled, and they should do right by him.
Right.
And if they can move him, they can move him. I have no idea what the hell they're going to do with Draymond Green. I really don't. It's a bad situation. And, listen, you have to be held accountable for your actions too, right? I think sometimes when stuff like this happens right away, we want to jump to, this guy's got issues or problems. And I'm not necessarily saying that's the case. I think, people have real world problems that are not playing in the NBA that need help, if that makes sense. These guys, they're making millions of dollars. They've got all these resources. I just think he's a goofball. I think he's a clown, to be quite honest with you. And he figures he can get away with whatever the hell he wants to get away with. If he needs help, seek the help. But the NBA had to step in, and they had to suspend him because it's just a bad look for the league. And that the league is going in a really bad direction. And then you had the BS last night with Giannis, which was utterly comical. It was actually comical. I was laughing.
Yeah, it was. And again, listen, they keep saying that he needs help. He does need help. No matter which way you look at it, he does need help. And again, you can apologize all you want to. No one is believing your apology. No matter which way you look at it, they're just not. So my thing is, okay, so you go out there and you get the help. Whether you decide to come back into the game, whether they allow you to come back to the game is a whole different story as well. But go out there, get the necessary help. I mean, we've seen other guys do it. Obviously, you look at Meta World Peace. He was a lot better after he was pretty much done. I mean, he know what he needed. He needed the help. He needed to get away from the game, and he's done a whole lot better. But I think one of the funnier things was that some of the media outlets were saying, how in the world is Golden State going to be able to do it again? So you mean to tell me you guys are relying on one guy, on the entire team? You're relying on one guy to get you over that hurdle, over that hump, however which way you want to call it? I don't believe for a minute, because Steph Curry, like you said, he's not old by any means. He's got a lot of games still left in him. So then at this point, do you seek another player in place of him? Or obviously they can't do it because you'd have to bring him up, I guess, from your practice squad.
Now, listen, at this point with Draymond, you just got to deal with it. They've got $400 million payroll, including the luxury tax. You just try to jettison these players and you start over. You look at the Western Conference. I mean, you've got younger, sprier teams with young guards, young players, the ascension, if you will. The other teams like Phoenix, who has 3 future Hall of Famers, you can argue, can't do diddly. You got Utah, can't do diddly. The Lakers, still LeBron, and the Clippers with their veterans, they're really not a juggernaut. If you're Golden State, you just start to jettison these players. And listen, their team like the Knicks, my Knicks, they've got a substantial amount of draft capital, if you will. I mean, if you think Stephen Curry is going to be on the block, then I can probably tell you there would be a substantial amount of teams that would take a look at him. But going back to your Green comments, I hear what you're saying and I appreciate it. I just think, why then turn around and give him a contract extension? Like, where his head's at. You know what type of player he is, what type of personality he is. But it shows you that teams are willing to look past a lot of that nonsense until it starts affecting the product on the floor or on the field, like Antonio Brown. It just got too much. We've seen it. The Ocho Cincos, the Terrell Owens. We've seen it throughout the history of sport. It's a bad combination right now for Golden State, but, credit to the NBA for stepping in and doing what they need to do. And right, hopefully he gets some help. I mean, did you watch Giannis last night, by the way? Did you watch him try to take his ball and go home?
He did take his ball. He's giving this damn ball. That's what he did. And he snatched it. He was like, nope, that's it. But I just like how the coach was like, there was a altercation. A thing. Like he tried to, I felt bad because he tried to describe it to make it seem like it wasn't a big scene and he couldn't find the right word to say it. But there was 2 game balls apparently, and he could have taken, I guess, the second one, but he decided to take the first one. And apparently it turned out to be a melee of sorts. No one got hurt. Apparently, according to what was stated, was no punches were landed. Okay. So what were we throwing air punches like air guitars?
It's just comical. I mean, first of all, he breaks the Bucks record, right? So he does it against a team that just knocked him out. There's chippiness going on. It's BS Indiana. They're egging him on. It's petty. They're sitting there saying we want the game ball for the one kid. That's BS, right? But the reaction is what just caught my attention. Remember the movie, the original White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah.
Remember the part where they suckered the guy Raymond, who was Marquise Johnson, that played in the NBA, and he's looking around the court and he's like, nah, I'm going to my car. I'm going to get my gun. I'm going to shoot all you mother effers. Like his reaction last night, Giannis's reaction last night, literally he looked like a man possessed. And quite frankly, I get it. You want the basketball, but it's just a funny look by the NBA. Like, this is where we're at. Grown men making hundreds of millions of dollars running across the court like somebody stole their sneakers on the blacktop and someone's trying to bike out of there. That's exactly what it looked like last night. And he did, by the way, he didn't even attempt a 3. I don't think he attempted a 3, let alone made one last night in the 64 points.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I'm pretty sure you're correct because I don't think so either. It's just, to me, listen, I know some people will say it's silly. It's just a game ball. And is there a side to both sides to say, yeah, it's kind of silly that it was a game ball? Nonetheless, he wanted it. Okay, so and I'm taking game ball number 2 instead of game ball number 1. Right. All right, whatever. But the whole entire thing I think was funny. The bigger, obviously, item being the game itself and how big it was for the Greek Freak. But again, they're going to point out the smaller things because that's what we do now. We don't ever point out all the major accomplishments anymore. We point out the most silliest things ever, which absolutely makes no sense. And just like yesterday, they had the NFL meetings that obviously they're going to keep the tush push. How is that going to be any kind of sorts of illegal? It just goes to show you where this society is going today. I was going to go off the rails today, but you know what? I might save it maybe for tomorrow because
that's a horrible job by you. You can't do that. You teased in this business. When you tease it once, that's it. You have to go all in. And by the way, I noticed something else. 2 bones to pick with you to start off in this first segment.
All right, so now here comes the off the rails. Go ahead.
Hold on. I feel as though we got the circle gets a square because I'm looking at the video right now and I see it set up a little different. So I have to get accustomed to it, right? Tic-tac-toe. Or like, what was the game show? The Celebrity where they had all the faces, right? And then you get the obscure guy who was a comedian in the 70s that's hanging on for a long, long time. He's like on the bottom right-hand corner. I feel like that guy right now. And second of all, when you proudly boast the network as we should, and where we're listened to and heard to, and you're mentioning, overseas and Kuwait and then Florida. I feel as though when you mention Florida, you're like, oh, in gorgeous downtown Fort Myers and Clearwater and Tampa and then it's all of a sudden, and yeah, in shit Jersey. You can
listen, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You said it.
You're just like, no, by the way, Jersey Shore. Like,
listen, last I checked, you were in the witness protection program, so I want to make sure that everybody doesn't know exactly where you are. Because you have other radio stations that are, what's the word? They're not stalking. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Poaching?
There you go.
Listen, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Listen, we're good, man. I'm with you. You already know that. I just find it funny that you're just like, and Fort Myers, and right down here in 95, and it's gorgeous. You see palm trees and blue water. And then, Jersey Shore, crime rates up in Atlantic City. All right, hey, let's get to Rich Q.
No, listen. Hey, I will say this much. If you guys have never been to Atlantic City, it is a great time in Atlantic City. Say whatever they want to until you get there. That's like Philly. Philly gets a bad rap every single time. Yeah. You go to Atlantic City in the summertime, you will have the time of your life because all you have to do, honest to God, Rich, you can back me up on this one. Sit on the bench on the boardwalk and you're just fine because you don't even have to go onto the beach. You can with the green waters and the brown sand.
Well, yeah, you got to be careful because God forbid, all of a sudden you're going past a buoy or something. You might, catch a body floating upside down. You want to steer clear of that.
It can happen.
It's not like it was. I told you there's so many casinos. It's saturated with all these properties. They've mismarketed. They've missed a boat. But, hell, you can't even go to Ocean City. You want to take a family of 4. Guess what? You're probably dropping like $1,000 that day. And the beach tag thing, that's another thing. Like, enough is enough.
That's just stupid.
Yeah,
that is just dumb.
Think about that.
Didn't that start with that idiotic governor you guys had beforehand?
Oh, it's many, many governors that decided when Christie just, was trying to close down the beaches, but yet was sitting in a nice friggin' chair, enjoying it with his family. Right?
Exactly.
I have to pay to go in the water. Think about that.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I would say this much, though, and I'll get to the, as the text lines are open, 844-644-8669. And we have one that came in here from 610. But before I get to that one, I think, honestly, I would say between what Jim Florio and Christine Todd Whitman had to be your best governors in Jersey.
Yeah, you're going back. Yeah, I'm not. I like I said, I wasn't too happy with when they shut down a lot of the stuff. I get it. I think a lot of it was overreaction and panic. It hurt the city.
No, it was stupidity.
But it hurt everyone at the end of the day, right? When
it's stupidity
and shut down. Yeah, so
right. It's no different than now. Now you see on TV the thing where they saying, well, RSV is going crazy. You need to vaccinate yourself. The flu is running rampant. You need to vaccinate yourself. Did you take a shit the wrong way this morning? You need to vaccinate yourself. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Honest to God, like it's a constant push. And if anybody, listen, you guys can believe all the nonsense. You know what? Yeah, this is the off the rails. I'm just going to go off the rails here for a second. 610, hang on for a second. I got you. If you believe any of the horse shit that this government says about this injection, and if you guys have not done your own homework, okay? First of all, upon the millions and billions of numbers that they said of people passing away, if you actually do the research and look, the numbers that they over-exaggerated wasn't even nowhere even close. On top of the stupid New York governor at the time decided that, oh no, I'm not going to get help for these people. I'm going to stick all the old people inside the nursing home to make them die because that's what I end up doing. And then he gets a Nobel Peace Prize. But if you guys keep believing all that nonsense about these injections are out there to help you out, this, that, and the other, you're out of your mind. I never got the crap in the first place. You know why? Because I was in the military. And in the military, you cannot say that you cannot get these vaccinations. Well, guess what? Years later, I pay for it as well. Because when you go overseas, anywhere you go, God forbid you go to war, first of all, you get about 5 shots even before you go anywhere. Any deployment anywhere. I don't care if you go to Panama for jungle training. You get 5 vaccinations. You get there, you get more vaccinations. They give you malaria pills, this pill, that pill, the whole 9 yards, because you're just a guinea pig. You're a number. That's all it is. So for everybody that keeps going with this whole nonsense about, oh, did you get vaccinated? Oh, stay away from me. You can wear your mask if you want to. Whatever, wear it. Be that idiot behind the wheel with nobody else inside the car, windows all the way up, and you got a mask on. Are you out of your damn mind? It's just ridiculous. The air that you breathe in your body is supposed to come out for a reason because that stuff in your body, it's all toxins. But no, these dummies like, oh, I can't breathe. I got my 15 mask on. What the hell's going on here? Doctor, what's happening? Well, you take it off, moron. That's what's happening, especially down here in Florida. When that first came out, it's 1 billion degrees down here, and these idiots are sweating their asses off. What do you do? I can't breathe. There's something going on. Oh, look, do this. Man, I can breathe. Hey, come on. How stupid can you possibly be? But no, we keep just enforcing people. No, get your injection. So they can make more money. The same way, what was that stupid Pfizer? The stupid idiot who runs Pfizer, what did he not do? He never got the injection. And he admitted it on air that he didn't. But yet the media spun it around. What did they say? Oh, no, he got it. Right. Just like everybody in D.C. got it for real too, right? Sure. No, the saline solution, by all means, was not done. So you guys, everybody that's out there that keeps getting these vaccinations, let me know how your health is just a couple more years from now, if you make it. Because it's funny how all those blood clot stories also went away. Because people were getting blood clots, the length of football fields in their bodies, thanks to this vaccination. And if you guys continue to do the research, you'll find out only 1% of that crap works. 1%. What's the other 99% of whatever they want it to be? But keep trusting your government because they're so damn good. I can't tell. I fought for this country. I would do it all over again. I enjoy my freedom, and I did it so everybody else could stay free. But for these morons that are running the government right now, and again, if you are part of the butthurt society, I don't care. Send your messages because you guys voted for this nonsense. You all voted for it. So you're welcome. For everything that went up, you're welcome. Because you guys keep believing all this stupid crap, and on the news, they love to say, oh, that's not true. Trump is the bad guy. This is the good guy. No, that idiot that you got that the sun blew off freaking Capitol Hill. Now, keep voting, you guys. Keep voting for that same freaking party. Bunch of morons. Honestly. And please, welcome. I don't care. Send your thoughts. Send whatever you want to because it's ungodly ridiculous. I've been holding that for a long-ass time. So you're welcome for the Off the Rails segment. It is 6:17 here in Tampa, Florida. The temperature of 69 degrees. It's enough. Yes? Can I help you? Producer walks in and gives me a side eye. So screw this nonsense.
I mean, I'm the one that's got the hot toddy tonight. I feel like maybe you might have to break. Listen, well said, and you're entitled. Listen, you are entitled to your opinion, period. Right, wrong, indifferent. That's why freedom of speech, we can do what we do, and you got it out of your system. And I'm happy you got it out of your system because it was not improv. It was right there, and you just had to let it go. If you would have sat, you would have festered. You would have texted me in the morning when you get up at 3 and I'm still counting fucking sheep and I don't want to have to deal with you. And you said, hey, I should have got this taken care of last night. No. You got it out of your system, and that's the first step. So.
Aaron Michael says, love it. Thank you, Aaron, for tuning in. We appreciate it. No, listen, it's enough. Honest to God, it's really, wait, did a comment come all the way up? Yes, they did. All right, just want to double check. I want to make sure you give them the proper credit there. No, it's just enough. Honest to God, it's enough. Enough with the nonsense.
Wasn't it weird watching sports, by the way, Angel? Wasn't it weird when everything kind of shut down and you want to watch sports, or they kind of slowly started sports, but like there were no fans in attendance and it was very limited. There was no juice. There was no energy.
There wasn't.
Whatsoever. It was just, I mean, I remember too, They basically stopped doing.
Hang on, we've been told that we've been knocked off the air. Hang on.
Oh, that was probably, you know what? That could have been on purpose.
It could have been. Let's see. Let me do the squeakly deekly thing here. So you know what? Maybe. All right. Let's see. AJ in San Antonio, if you're listening in, let me know. He was the one that just sent me the message that I was dropped off air. So you know what? That's what it was. It's the government. You see what I'm talking about? It's the government. Freaking these clowns from D.C. decided to shut me off. That's what it was. Jesus Christ, ridiculous.
Blew a gasket, right? So I was thinking about you, watching some of these games and some of these highlights, right, with the NBA. Going back to how we were talking about the product being really, really bad. And I'm saying to myself, listen, no defense in the NBA whatsoever, right? None whatsoever. So scoring's up. It's at a premium. You know, you're suspending this guy. You got all these antics. Will you sit through an entire NBA game, or will you flip on, say, the third or fourth quarter? Like, by the way, Pistons and the Spurs, they lost again. I mean, can we talk about those two franchises and how the NBA did not want to discuss tanking anymore? And it's pretty clear that they are flat out friggin' tanking, and watch San Antonio get another lottery pick. I mean, how is no one even talking about this? You get a team losing 18 straight games, 22 straight games. Detroit and the Spurs, they're horrible franchises right now. They're so tanking. Everyone knows it, but yet the commissioner doesn't want to address it. But when other teams did it, obviously it was a big, big deal.
Yep, it was. By the way, I'll get to that in a second. As Aaron Michael says, this is a great program. You guys are still on. I appreciate Aaron. Again, come back often. Believe me, you never know what's going to happen on Thursday, let alone on the Friday Funnies. You just don't know. By the way, on the 610, I don't know the name there, but he said Hollywood Squares, Dong City. That's when you were talking about.
Hollywood Squares. Thank you. Yeah, circle gets a square. Yeah, circle gets a square. I always felt they were past their prime, like B celebrities, B Arthur, God rest B Arthur, Golden Girls. She was right there in the middle, and they had some of these other guys that were just kind of chugging along, and you stick me in the corner square. I'm one of those guys. I mean, it's just,
Exactly. By the way, you guys are welcome for the government kicking me off. They silenced me. You will not take away my freedom. Damn it.
Can't do it.
It's ridiculous.
No, we need winners. We just
exactly. That's exactly what we need. It's ridiculous. Knock me off the air because you guys are You don't want to friggin' Pete checking in says, you are back. Thank you. That's a great Pete Shepard. Absolutely love that guy. Why? Because he also says what's on his mind as well. That's it. Give me liberty or give me peace. One of the two. Either that or just kiss my ass, period. How about that one?
You're gonna call me tomorrow while you're friggin' So Angel, every time I call Angel during the afternoon, right, just to check up, to say hello to my hermano and see how he's doing. He's driving around. We want to talk about the show prep. This cat never turns off his effing blinker. So
that's right.
All I hear in the background is, I'm like, dude, you're making a right. Turn it off already. But tomorrow you're probably gonna be like, yo, Q, I don't know what's going on, man. People are following me. People are following me. People are following me. Maybe it's the ones that tried to silence me last night.
That's what it is. Believe me, every morning I got to do a GPS tracker all over my car. Just take a look. You know, I got the mirrors like they do down in D.C. when they look around. Well, they don't even do that anymore because the only time they ever break it out, if you're a Republican, the mirror always says, not a good guy. Get him out the car. So I do it every morning. I check my car out just to make sure. But that's a beautiful thing being down here in paradise. We can actually say whatever we want to without getting arrested. The rest of the nation, I don't know about you guys, because apparently if you say something that they don't like, boy, oh boy, are they happy to put you in the clinker. Steal all you want, California. Steal whatever you feel like. You know, they can't afford it. Okay, all right. Neither can we, but our taxes and everything else keep going up. Anybody shocked too that the gas prices all of a sudden decided to take a big deep plunge? Ooh, what's coming around again? Oh yeah, elections. Imagine that. So you guys are welcome too for paying $4, $5, $6 some places. California paid up to $8. Now all of a sudden everything is fine again in the world. Whatever's. Anyways, we'll get into some more action. As I said, matter of fact, hold on. I'm sorry. I got to give Pete Shepard his flowers because I was talking about him beforehand. And Pete does, once again, a fantastic job every single day. And now with the double secret society phone number, it's even better because now people call in and you don't get lags or anything else. And that's a tribute to Miss Robin, who continues to knock it out the park. Now, if anybody should be president, it should be Miss Robin. And then Tony could be the first man, I guess. I don't know. Is that a thing? First man?
Would it be first? Would it be? Well, yeah, not first. Yeah, first man would be. I guess that's politically.
Whoa, hang on.
Something, right? I mean,
if you just said the first lady to Tony, he's going to call in. He's going to kill you.
No. Don't sabotage me now. Wait, is my mic on? No. You know,
just
all of a
saying.
sudden, my square is going to be in the friggin' parking lot.
Don't forget, he has still the Italian fever in him, so I'm pretty sure he's got some. As a matter of fact, he might send DeVito's family over to your house to come pay you a visit there.
Leave Tommy. Listen, Tommy Cutlets might get mashed up into a little Parmesan this weekend against the Saints. I think the little run might be coming to a ending. This is what I want. In a perfect world, I want your Philadelphia Eagles to whack Seattle, get it out of their system, get it out of their system. Because if they lose to Seattle and then they take on the Giants, my little Tommy Cutlets, he's done. They're gonna get absolutely destroyed by the Eagles. So my thinking is go and beat Seattle. Maybe a little bit of letdown. Maybe they send a little chicken parm, a little pasta, little raviolis to the Eagles complex. Let those guys fatten up for that Sunday and be a little tired. And then perhaps, and Pete can appreciate this. I mentioned to you about the look-ahead line with the games. I believe the Eagles opened at like 14 against my Gents, and now it's all the way down to 10. So that starts to tell you maybe there are a couple believers out there for the slinging Sicilian, the passing Paisano.
Listen, whatever you're talking about, I'm buying, all right? That's just the way it is. Pete Shepard says, sounding great, boys. Thank you, Pete. Once again, Pete Shepard in the morning from 7 to 10. Wake up with Pete Shepard. Pete will get you awake in the morning. If you're half-assed asleep in the morning, Pete will get you up. First of all, his intro song will get you up. And then he has his small comment in between there, and then he pumps it up even more. Pete will wake you up. So make sure you guys wake up with Pete Shepard in the morning from 7 to 10 a.m. Before I say the rest of the lineup here, as Brian says, Angel is killing it. Truth bombs. Yeah, well, listen, that's what we do around here, right? We don't do that Second Amendment crap or Fifth Amendment. I plead the Fifth. No, I say what's on my mind. You don't like it? I don't know what else to tell you. Buy the subscription for $9.99. You can do so.
Circle gets a square.
That's right. That's the way it works. All right. Also, Defo and Luby on from 10 to 12. Then the best of between 12 and 3. Then followed by Tony Bruno, Miss Robin, 3 to 6. And then Rich and myself here from 6 to 8 p.m. And I know the commercial's about to kick in. We will talk more right after this.
You know I got a brand.
You're listening to Martinez Company
That's right.
on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Nights are getting shorter now, hot chocolate fills the air and Christmas cheer does too. Picking out your Christmas tree so loudly, the joy this time it brings to you. Santa's coming down.
To Martinez and Company.
It's always playing in my car.
On the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Si el ritmo te lleva a mover la cabeza, ya empezamos como es. Mi música no discrimina a nadie, así que vamos a romper. Toda mi gente se mueve. Mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. El mundo nos quiere, me quiere a mí. Toda mi gente se mueve. Mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. Mi música los tiene fuerte bailando y se baila así.
La fiesta no para, apenas comienza. C'est comme si, c'est comme ça, ma chérie. La 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 la. Francia, Colombia, me gusta. Freeze. J Balvin, Willy William, me gusta.
Eat Gracias, como siempre, cuando venimos para atrás a las 6:30 de la noche. Eres Ángel Martínez con Ricardo Quiñones, aquí con Martinez Company en el Tony Bruno Sports Network. Si ustedes no tienen el app, hágame el favor. Vayas al Google o al Apple Store y entonces buscan el Tony Bruno Sports Network app. Bájalo en tu teléfono, así donde tú estás. Puede ser Venezuela, puede ser España, puede ser Brasil, puede ser México. Donde tú estás, puedes escuchar nosotros aquí de la mañana, empezando a las 7 de la mañana con Pete Shepard, a las 10 con Difo and Luby, de 12 a 3, lo mejor de Tony Bruno, después el hombre, él mismo, de 3 a 6 con Miss Robin, el Tony Bruno Sports Network Show, y entonces con nosotros aquí con Martinez Company. Y si quieren, llaman, dejan saber nosotros cómo estamos al 844-644-TONY, 844-644-8669. Y como dice Tony Bruno, él mismo, bonito, hombre, bonito. Porque esta noche estamos en fuego. And for those who like to hit number 2, as soon as we come back here from the break at the bottom of the hour, quarter number 2, Martinez Company, you guys will end up learning Spanish by the time this is all said and done, because all you have to do is hit number 2 on your phone, and you can slip it on the side there. Brian says, is Angel a DJ on the side? Listen, I've been known to throw down the 1s and 2s. It's happened. It has happened. I do it just like Goodfellas. I just go like this, and I pretty much crank it up and... Yeah, exactly.
Where are the dresses? There. They're down there. Down there.
No, I got it. No, I think I'm good. No, but no.
Yeah,
listen, what's?
No. Go ahead.
I love good music. I love to have fun with it. And I've done a little bit on the side, but I haven't done it in God knows how long. Mickey says hi, guys, and also shared the show out. Mickey, thank you as always. Thank you for coming back once again. We do appreciate it. And thank you all for sharing out the show again, so new people can check out the Tony Bruno Sports Network. Again, the best damn sports network on the planet and soon to be on the universe as everything continues to grow tenfold here. And don't forget, AJ Johnson will be back tonight. I heard the confirmation on the Tony Bruno Show, so he'll be back right after us from 8 to 10 p.m. Also, the text lines are open. You guys can text and or call in 844-644-TONY, 844-644-8669. Now, there was a story, and I was trying to look for it again, where apparently, I guess now, as if Tom Brady isn't doing enough, he's buying soccer teams, buying stake in the Vegas Raiders, and he's doing all this stuff. Now, apparently, he's showing interest in a baseball team. Now, it didn't say which one exactly he has interest in, but now, listen, and he's got money. No one's going to say no to him. Why not? I mean, they're just not. So, you really can't. Well, I mean, I guess you could do it with the now Las Vegas, soon-to-be Athletics. I guess if you want to put some money into it, you could. I mean, they're going to have an outstanding stadium out there when it's all said and done. So, if you were a guessing man, Rich, who would you think? Either A, would he just want to establish his own team, maybe an expansion team? That's what it was. It was an expansion team, I believe, in Canada, and I believe it was the Expos.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the Expos. I'm almost certain. Now it just registered.
When they were the Expos, and then they moved, obviously, now Washington Nationals, that Expos franchise.
Yeah, the Nats.
Yeah. I mean, do you know his net worth? I mean, he's at the point where he can pretty much, the name alone, the pedigree, the resume, who he is. But these guys, when they have such long, distinguished careers, you start to see they get bored maybe, and they have so much money and so much time on their hands. What else do they want to do, right? I mean, I always thought he would maybe have a stake in the Patriots with Robert Kraft. That's what I thought, but obviously with the Raiders, and people were saying, well, hey, look for the Raiders now if the Patriots jettison Belichick. Who's to say Brady doesn't make that call, depending upon the pull and the cachet. But they have so much money, Angel. I mean, he can pretty much do whatever he wants to do. I mean, look, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's got stake. Magic Johnson used to have stake when I was doing radio, and I had a cup of coffee years ago. Not this coffee, but I had a cup of coffee in Ohio doing radio. He was part of the Dayton Dragons at the time, which was minor league baseball, which was pretty prominent in a little town of Kettering, Ohio, in Dayton. So, and now look at Magic Johnson, right? He's got stake and equity in what? The Washington franchise. So, and other franchises these athletes have stake in. So yeah, Tom Brady can do whatever the hell he wants to do. It's funny you mentioned the expansion stuff, right? Or wanting to get involved in that capacity. Did you see the NFL now? They'll have a game in Brazil.
Yep.
This all started, in my opinion, because of the ownership group with Jacksonville years ago, because they are dying to get a team over in Europe, in London. What team plays the most over there? It's Jacksonville.
Right. That's why they're going to be the Jacksonville Jaguar. The London Jaguars.
Yeah, right. Now they're going to be the London. Did you see the story about the dude that stole like $22 million from Jacksonville?
Yeah. Okay. How do you not see? Come on, Rich. If daggone what? Depending on what bank you're with.
Yeah.
Like some banks are really good. The one, the Blue Bank is actually pretty good when they send you like alerts and stuff like that. And even if you're a Capital One member, they do the same thing. But yeah, and on top of, how is it that you are the only person with this virtual credit card, yet alone when people go to your house, like, bro, if you're only making $12 an hour, how are you in this luxury house? Oh, I shaked a couple trees.
Well, he said apparently he's facing up to 30 years in jail.
As he should.
Well, listen, you don't have to tell me. I agree 100%. I mean, he was private jets, luxury hotels. He was doing crypto, taking exotic trips. I think he might have a condo right around you guys somewhere in Florida. He bought a house as well. But then he was talking about having a gambling problem. But you're right. I mean, how do you poach and steal that type of money where someone in accounting, all of a sudden, you're looking at payroll and you're like, oh, shit, $10 million is missing. Like, that's just an egregious error. It would draw so many red flags, but it's crazy. I mean, can you imagine if he would have pulled off that caper and never got caught?
Yep. It'd have been some. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. Hold on for a second. He is in Florida, and in Florida, they actually do prosecute. If you would have been in California, they'd be like, listen, there's nothing to see here, right? I got to get that sounder. I swear I got to get that sounder. In this hand, there's something there, but in this hand, I'm going to get it. I got to find it. I'm going to do it over the weekend. AJ in San Antonio says, Brady was drafted by the Expos. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would make sense. And also, there was another text that came in here from the 609. Here we go. Yesterday, remember I read Q, now it was around like 7:44 last night. It's Jamal from Jersey.
Jay, we appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Yep, he said ready for the
I get those cross plants, the guys that listen to me on the radio for years. So we definitely appreciate you guys following me and supporting what Angel's doing in the network. And certainly keep the text coming in, keep breaking the balls and the stones. And it's all good. We always we love to hear from the little people. We are men of the people.
That's right. We all got tested, and we find out that we're actually men. Because what did he say earlier? Boys have penises, girls have vaginas.
I'm even getting some of these private. They're like, yo, man, commentate, hermano. Tell you I got to commentate. I'm like, no, let me just go like this. Look. I'm like, yeah, we'll get that off the rails segment. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, let me just kind of lead the horse. Look. Right to the water.
It's okay. It's all right. I hope everyone enjoyed it. By the way, if you missed it, because apparently the government found out that I was talking about him, don't worry. Just go back and hear the replay. You'll be able to catch it all. Believe me, it's golden. Matter of fact, it might be the number one seller tomorrow. And I'm going to reach out to Pfizer and just let them know, hey, I have a great advertisement for you guys. Here you go. You're welcome. But by the way, Jamal says, ready for the hot toddy to kick in. Let's go, Q.
Yeah. The hot toddy, it's good timing. It's 6:43 Eastern time. So yeah, we're going to need the hot toddy. I told you what I've been doing, right? So when we get off the show, I kind of do my own like notes, right? Kind of like post prep, kind of replay everything. But then like you, because sleeping habits are so goofy, I started to, watch Ballers. Did you ever see it was on HBO with The Rock?
Yeah.
Okay. I have so many shows to catch up. There's just so many hours in a friggin' day, which is it's very frustrating at times. We need to stretch the day out a little more.
That's why I have 32 hours in a 24-hour day.
Right. The math checks out. I went to liberal arts school. So I've been running through it, and it's really a pretty good show, man. And it just like those shows, rarely do you get some of the shows that are allowed to openly talk about these sports leagues in the NFL, right? Because you're talking about trademark and copyright and talking about, it's based in Miami and then they go out west, but it's just a really good show. I've been fascinated with it. So I'm trying to like get through it. My goal, my homework assignment is to bang it out. When we get off the air tomorrow night, I got to put that puppy to bed. Well, I'm talking 1, 2 in the morning because I got broadcast on Saturday. We got the football on Sunday and then right back with you on Monday. So I'm just so pressed that I think I can do it, Angel. If I really have a couple hot toddies, I think I'm going to be able to get at least 6 more episodes in tonight. And then I'll just blow out the final season tomorrow night. So
what you got to do.
You got to wish me luck on that one, man. You have to we need to manifest that, get it out of the way.
That's right. Get it out, talk about it, it'll be just fine, as we all see it. Well, it's the same way, and we'll get back to sports stuff here, as we always break things up here at Martinez Company. Thank you once again, everybody, tuning in. Thank you guys for the comments. I do appreciate it. Mickey, Brian, Jamal from Jersey, AJ from San Antonio. We really, really appreciate you guys coming back here every single night and hang out with us, at least until 8 p.m. And after that, you guys can hang out with AJ Johnson and Bleacher Brothers right after us. But and don't forget, start your morning with Pete Shepard from 7 to 10 a.m. I'm going to get my own little sound biters and I'm going to put it in there so I can make sure I throw up there. And on the bottom banner, if you guys are watching here on the socials, you guys can see all the shows as they scroll through the bottom of the banner. And it even has the phone number where you guys can call in or text into the show. You're welcome. That's what we do here. We are high speed at the Tony Bruno Sports Network. And if you don't know, we also have, let's see, Miss Robin. I always forget. Miss Robin, please don't kill me. I believe she's either Dutch or from the Netherlands, or I could be completely wrong. I know it's right around that area. You got the Italian Stallion. You got the other Italian Stallion in the morning. Defo and Luby. And I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember exactly what they are.
What?
Because I'm trying to say the ethnicities. It's a big ethnic group. That's what it is. And I just forget.
Tony Bruno Sports Network is the melting pot of all sports talk.
That's right.
Yappers.
See.
That's
and
it.
everyone's right. You can get a tan too.
That's it.
Yeah. That's the way we do it around here. But over to my other thought. By the way, do you ever watch? All right. First of all, do you remember when TLC first came out? It was the actual learning channel.
Not the group TLC?
No. Best group ever.
Yeah. Lisa Left Eye. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I know the channel. I don't. Do I have it on? My list of favorites? No, but go ahead. I'll play along. Go ahead. I'll bite.
Well, no. So when they first started, right, they had, what was that show? I know my producer, she'll walk in here in a second and she'll tell me, but it was Trading Spaces. There you go. Trading Spaces. They had it. So in the very beginning when TLC came out, it was a learning channel. You learned about these different things. They also had the Trading Spaces and also from WMMR. Not Steve.
Stephen Preston?
Yeah, so Preston and his wife were on one of the first early episodes.
Okay.
And they were supposed to, so the idea was that you would go to your neighbor's house and you agree upon going on the show. And then if there was an idea that you liked for your room, then you would trade spaces. And so they would go to your house and would fix it up and you guys would stay at each other's houses until the project was done.
Gotcha.
Well, apparently at Preston's house, they did a really good job, but Preston said he was pretty certain that his neighbor was not going to like what she saw. And he said they're probably not going to talk to him again. It was probably the worst. And there was a couple, probably the worst fixer-upper ever. I mean, there was stuff glued up to the ceiling. It's a very, very old episode. But the reason why I bring up the Learning Channel, because now it's nothing even near to what it used to be. So they have this show called The 90-Day Fiancé. And it's, you got 90 days, you meet this person, you go overseas, and you dig them, they dig you, whatever. Or if not, they come from overseas or to the U.S. What a train wreck show. But it is the best train wreck show ever. Because if you have no drama in your life, all you got to do is tune in to 90 Day Fiancé. Because these people, they meet folks overseas. And then they talk about I can't believe I moved here. What are the thoughts? You have millions upon millions of Americans that you can meet. And you even have people that came from overseas here. They've learned the language. They've accustomed to the American system.
Sure.
So you can meet somebody here. But it kills me every time they go over there. There's this one girl now. I'll keep them nameless to protect the identity of the dummies. But she goes over there. And basically the guy's telling her what to eat, what to do, how to act. He weighs her. He puts her on a scale and tells her she cannot pass, I think it was 124 pounds, something to that freaking ridiculousness.
Wait a second. Is this on right now? This show's on right now, correct?
See.
Okay, then what do you need to protect the character on a show if you have already watched it? She's not right. I mean, if it's a character.
Listen, I don't know. Maybe there's other people that haven't watched it, so I'm just
Oh, you mean you don't want to do spoiler alert? This is not. We're not talking about a movie.
No.
You know what? So you go over there for how many days?
For 90 days.
I'd give it a shot. Free trip, 90 days. Put a little coin in my pocket. You know.
You could. Well, then the thing is, at the end of it, you have to do the testimonial. So basically, they do the tell-all, and then the tell-all, that's when everything comes out. I'm telling you.
Oh, no, we don't. No. We. I'm a very private person. We don't need to divulge what I'm doing.
Listen,
90 days. I thought it was just go about my business, a little sightseeing. Walk around, meet a couple people, and I can't do that.
No, listen, the camera follows you into the bathroom, into the bedroom, wherever you are, the camera is.
No, those are off limits.
Not in this show.
What goes on behind those closed doors? Off limits.
Okay, well then I'll make sure. I'm going to write to TLC. I have the direct address because I had Misha Johnson on, she was on 90 Day Fiance. So I have their direct emailing address. I'm going to tell them I know a great single guy that said he would love to experiment with 90 Day Fiance.
Experiment with a free trip. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want people falling in love. I mean, I can't control that. If they fall in love with me in 90 days, hey, who am I? I just can't deal with that. But I'm just saying, I don't want to have to break anyone's heart after 90 days, and line them up and say, I'm sorry, ladies. That would be too sensitive for that, Angel. I just putting it out there. I just cannot do that. I can't do that to a person. Now,
okay,
you want to throw in like $50, $75, $100,000. I go over there, boom, boom, boom. That's fine. That's different. No commitment, no strings attached. I'm good with that.
All right. Well, I can send you over there, and then Brian can be your manager, and we'll just set it up that way.
Good. Done.
Yeah, do it that way. By the way, on the text line, AJ from San Antonio, who reminds me that yes, the Netherlands is Dutch, and yes, Robin's Dutch. Well, good. I'm glad I got it correct. She usually reminds listeners about 12 times a week. LOL. So, which I know she does, but again, when you have little brain farts like I do every once in a while, you tend to forget. But I'm glad I got it right, because if not, I'm pretty sure I would have had a phone call or at least a text saying that I am Dutch. How can you forget? So again, the Italian stallion with the Dutch Wonderland, which is Tony and Miss Robin, which is great. And by the way, if those who did not hear the news, I guess it's been about a month now. It's probably been that quick. So Tony will be the master of ceremonies for the producer and I next June. So the location is being kept secret, very, very secret, because if not, it would turn out to be a Tony Bruno show at the nuptials. So we got to make sure that we keep it we keep it under lock and key. Brian says, Angel's watching the new 90 Days. Starber and see, I'm not the only one. There you go. Starber and Shakina. And can't forget Bravo Shahs of Sunset. Well, yeah, that's another one.
Now we're up my alley, Shahs of Sunset, because that was a train wreck.
See, okay. So you got to watch this one. I'm telling you, Brian, Brian will agree with me. Dude, that guy Harper, he's ridiculous. First of all, his claim to fame is he slept with 2,500 women. So she's basically 2,501. She goes to his apartment. The bed is just, it looks like it belongs in a Motel 5. I wouldn't even give it a Motel 6. It's how bad his bed is. And she's like, I'm not going to sleep there. He's, what's wrong? The other 2,500 never complain. Well, the holes in the bed shows how many have been in there. If you would have put a purple light in there, I'm pretty sure there's things probably still crawling around the ceiling from the other ones. But then he's a physical trainer, and he only trains women. 90% of his clientele is women, 10% is men.
Really?
And so they go to the gym, and she has a lollipop in her mouth, and she calls him over. She's like, I thought you said you were going to stop training women. He goes, I'm not going to do that. 90% of my women, and you're not supposed to be in my business. And she's like, but yes.
Wait, 2,500?
Yeah.
Over how many years do you think?
According to him, less than 5 years.
I'm just going to, again, liberal arts math right here. So okay. 2,500, we'll go 5 years. Wait, hold on a second. What the hell am I doing?
I don't know.
So you're talking, that's 500 a year. Okay. Mm-hmm. Conquest. So we have to divide that by 365, which is 1.3 a day, which tells me either he's Superman, his friggin' reload time is on another friggin' level, and he's like the $6 million man, or he's full of shit. Because how many women did Wilt Chamberlain claim to sleep with?
Wasn't it something like 10,000, 20? It was something ridiculous.
Again, not enough hours in the day to the man.
Well, that's what they claim. You know what they say? If they say it, it must be true. But this guy, he's just ridiculous, man. And this girl, I mean, first of all, she's 30-something years old. And again, got a bunch of work done on her face and the boobs and the whole 9 yards. But it's just, he took as she's talking to him, he takes the lollipop out of her mouth and basically slams her on the floor. He goes, that's fattening. Don't do that. And she just looked like, oh my, like, don't talk to me. Then they go over to this place, like he made up for it. So he takes her to this, the spa thing, whatever. There's a Turkish bathhouse, but not that kind of Turkish bathhouse, an actual real one.
I hear you.
Yeah, so he takes her over there, and he rents out the place, and it absolutely stunning. I'll give it to him. If he wanted to make up, that was the part to do it. But then was he drop on her? I told you we're going to have a baby. And she was like, no, I don't want to. He was like, no, you don't want to? Okay, fine. I delete you. Who tells someone that they will delete them?
Don't you think it's scripted, though? It's like that Catfish show or the Tinder Swindler. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Think the Tinder Swindler, after I send you your first $5,000 and I don't hear from you again, why the hell am I going to send you another $5,000? Like, I'm sorry. You cannot play the victim there. Like, oh, he swindled me out of $100,000. He was so charming and the master manipulator. Come on, man. You know how many friggin' spam emails and text messages I get from someone in Nigeria that just claimed $500,000? Sure, let me get on the phone and give you my effing social security number. Hey, how about this? How about I fly you over to the States? You can stay with me in Jersey and I'll fucking take you to TD Bank and I'll give you my credit card and I'll give you my debit card. I'm sorry. You cannot be that naive.
There are. No. By the way, Brian says, best sports talk I've heard all week. We give you a little bit of everything here on the show at Martinez Company as we're quickly coming up at the top of the hour. It is, once again, 6:57 here and a beautiful, balmy 67 degrees in Tampa, Florida, as we got up to 75 today. It's going to be a wet mess this weekend. And no, don't get excited, ladies, because it's not the Friday pill. It's the actual weather that's happening this weekend. Big weather mess that's happening here down in the local area. And by the way, USF yesterday, real quick, the day before, at the women's game, guess who showed up out of nowhere? And it makes a little curiosity if he also stopped by a particular team here in Tampa.
Is this a teaser? Are we going to talk about it on this hour number 2, or you're really asking me?
No, I'm really asking you now before we have to kick into the commercial.
I mean, I'm not prepped for this one.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Former Raider.
Quarterback?
Head coach.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to say that's when I'm going to say Chucky, when John Gruden.
Yes, Chucky was in attendance.
Always. It's death, taxes, and right around this time of year, John Gruden's name. Always. Yep. Guaranteed.
Well, listen, just call it coincidence, because my thing is that you know that Todd Bowles is probably not going to be walking back. So I'm just saying, don't be surprised if somebody comes back to the Buccaneers.
Hey, you might be onto something, man. I never put anything past anyone. I really don't. I don't. And it's just, I don't know, man. I'm kind of over Gruden. Sorry.
Okay.
Listen, I'm over Gruden. I'm over Harbaugh. You know,
it's better than Bowles. Just saying.
He's not a head coach. He's a coordinator. We all know that.
Yeah. Well, he can coordinate stuff.
But he's probably going to get a contract extension if they make the playoffs. Kind of like our guy, Joe Cool. How about Flacco?
Yeah, I know. We'll talk about that one after the break. That's amazing. Yet alone, someone had the audacity to rate him from 1 to 5. Huh. Now he's rating you from 1 to 100 because guess what? Payday's coming. So
no doubt.
Take that one. All right. After the break, we'll get into some more NFL talk, some NBA talk, maybe a little bit of baseball stuff, maybe some more drama-filled stuff, which actually it's great because, again, people like Brian and others actually enjoy it. Maybe or maybe not. So come back after the break. And don't forget the open phone lines here at 844-644-TONY, 844-644-8669. Tony Bruno Sports Network, brought to you by Tony Bruno, Miss Robin, and I don't know who else we can get around there. Along with
Mike Piazza Auto Group. Mike Piazza Auto Group.
There you go.
Mike Piazza Auto Group.
We should talk to Mike. Well, he lives right down the street from you, so you guys are probably just hanging out.
see if I can get him on the show. Absolutely. Why not?
All right. Well, as we swing into the top of the hour, there may or may not be another reindeer song here. So we will talk to you guys right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting, and now it's here. TBSN, the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Make some noise!
Tune in at 7 a.m. and hear Pete Shepard till 10. And then Defo and Luby from 10 a.m. till noon. And then the man himself, Tony Bruno, and the Tony Bruno Show starts at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Martinez Company from 6 p.m. to 8. And we've got more to come. The Tony Bruno Sports Network. Download the app. Tell your friends the game is on. TBSN.
Martinez Company. I am cracking on my co-host. If you guys miss out on it,
you need to like whip out some glow sticks and have the lights coming like.
Exactly. That's the only thing I'm missing. By the way, that is one of my few favorite songs, but I think it's a great throwback and a great sped up version of it. Obviously, if you guys haven't figured out, I absolutely love club music. I grew up with it. I do have other stuff that is coming up here that I will load up on the board. So it'll be some different things coming up here next week, but there's certain songs that just get me going. That's one of them because I can play that and I dance around the house. A lot of times at the warehouse in the morning, sometimes my boss will walk in and is like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm grooving."
I would deem that more of the freestyle, would you not?
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
That would definitely
be the freestyle sound. Yeah.
2 years in a row, I've missed it here in Tampa because they come down towards the beginning. No, towards like the middle part of summer. So it's the second year in a row. They sold out the first year. So they came back the second year. And it's all the freestyle artists from back in the 90s.
Yep.
Like the late 80s, early 90s. And this year they brought, now, listen, for those who think that Stevie B still sounds like Stevie B back in the day, come on. Stop playing.
Stevie B was one of my favorites. Lisa, Cold Jam, Stevie B. Sure.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that my thing is, if you guys think that he still sounds that way, because when he was on stage, all you saw was it's lip sync. Come on, man. You know your voice changes.
Yeah.
So, but you know, they listen. Everybody enjoyed it. They had fun with it, and that was the best thing ever. So, it's just fun. It's a fun time. Tampa's a great time.
You go. Spring Love over Diamond Girl.
Ooh, that's tough. Spring Love or. Man.
That's why I'm here.
That's it.
That's it. That's my contribution for the 7:00 hour.
It's no, you know, I gotta. God Almighty, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You ponder that a little bit. I know you wanted to get into with the NFL and Flacco, huh? How about that?
Gee, listen. Again, this is why you never count somebody out. Now, did I? Think that he was going to get the deal that he got right now. Plus, he got a 1-year contract extension from the Cleveland Browns. And truthfully, you're saving a boatload of money. And if he can still play, granted, he's coming in at the end of the season. It'll be different when if he goes, again, if it all happens, it comes to fruition. But he goes back to camp, and then you get to see, how he is from day one all the way through. And then if you get him on the cheap side, okay. Well, so what? Listen, Tommy DeVito, if you're listening, okay. The Browns have open auditions. You can go out there next year, go out to Cleveland, try out with the Browns. There is nothing wrong with that organization. Maybe you could be a starting quarterback and Flacco could be your backup.
No way. For two things. You have all that money tied up in Deshaun Watson. Every single cent. You have to let it play out a little bit. If Flacco decides I'm going to come out again and play, then you can have him as a backup. It's almost like what I have to deal with the Giants and Daniel Jones. 160 million, 40 million a year, and he's coming off a major injury. So it's yet to be seen. I need to see more from these quarterbacks, man. I do. Like we joke with DeVito and all this other stuff, and it's a great story, but the more you play, the more film teams get on you, the more adjustments can be made. And he might come back down to earth this week. It could be next weekend against the Eagles. It doesn't mean the kid can't play. He'll have an opportunity to play in the NFL, maybe, stick around as a backup. If he keeps getting better, yeah, he has a shot at being a starter. You know why people look at players like that? Like Flacco was at Pittsburgh, and then he had the strong arm, and then he transferred to Delaware. And then I think a lot of people were shocked that he got drafted by the Ravens. But if you look at his career, he had a brilliant career. I mean, he put up some monster numbers. You said it last week. He still has a friggin' cannon for an arm. But what does it say if you're an organization where you pull a guy off the street like that, but yet you gave another guy $200-300 million all guaranteed? He's not even playing. Like what? That's a bad franchise. Even though they're winning football games, that is not a situation. I would not be envious of anyone in that organization, even though the owner was the one that was foolish enough to give Deshaun Watson all that money. But it goes to what we talked about the other night, the quarterbacking play in the NFL. You lost how many starters? I mean, look at tonight. Look at the guys slinging it tonight. And then Minnesota, who they're going to throw out there. I mean, the list goes on and on. The quarterbacking play in the league sucks.
Right.
You've got 5 really decent quarterbacks. You put Jalen Hurts top 5?
The way he's playing now, I'll put him top 10.
Who's your top 5 quarterbacks right now in the NFL? Give me 5. I don't care what order. Just.
I mean, you got to throw Mahomes in there.
Of course.
Take on it from your Ravens.
Lamar Jackson.
Yep. Oh, darn it. Try and go around from looking around. I got to throw Dak in there. Dak has been doing a good job.
How about Purdy?
Yeah, Brock Purdy, definitely. He's in there. And even though Jordan Love has shown signs of improvement. That's why I said even if. It's an outside shot, but I'm trying. Let me see. Go down south. Although Baker Mayfield's not doing a too bad job either. He's probably outside looking in. But Baker Mayfield hasn't done a bad job.
But we're talking elite status, right? You go Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. What about Tua?
Yeah, Tua. That's a good top 5 there.
And then what about Hurts?
Hurts, I'll put him in number 6.
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, think about it. Tua, Mahomes, Lamar, and Dak to a point, and even Hurts, they all have common traits, right? I mean, they move around the pocket, they scramble, but, people look at these quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, he's always banged up. Jalen Hurts gets a little nicked up.
Right.
Dak, a little nicked up. Tua, obviously, with the concussions, gets a little nicked up. Kind of point being is I think the NFL, I think some of these teams want that pure pocket passer, even though that's not where the game is right now, if that makes sense. So going back to Flacco, he's a statue. I mean, he just sits in the pocket. You can't, you would be, listen, if he leads into the playoffs and they win a game, it'd be crazy the incentives he's going to hit. But it's a young man's game, man. They want guys that can move around, scramble, take command of the huddle, the pure pocket passers of Peyton, Phillip Rivers, Eli, Brady, Rodgers to some extent. We're way past that, man. You see the video on Rodgers moving around at Jets camp? Practice?
Listen, why? Why? Honest to God, why? That is so stupid. But, whatever. And then if he goes down again, I would love, God would I love, a Jets fan to call in and just really state what they feel, because that's just stupid. Let's be, you're 37 years old.
Yeah.
You're coming back from an injury. You don't want to be 100% healed because you swear you can bring back the Jets from the basement to be able to make it to the playoffs. You get hurt again, then what? Then it's complete bust. But you know what? New York, you're welcome. That's what you guys wanted. You saw the product in Green Bay, but you guys wanted it. You're welcome.
Do you think there's any part of the fact that they beat the Texans. Buffalo's been struggling a little bit. Miami's been struggling. If you look around the conference, and I pulled it up, the Jets, I mean, they got a lot of work to do, but they're a game out. Pittsburgh and the Colts are both 7-6. Houston's 7-6. You got the tiebreaker against Houston. Denver 7-6. Cincinnati 7-6. Buffalo 7-6. And then you got 4 teams that are 5-8. I guess point being, if they would have lost, do you think they would have really been in a rush to be like, all right, let me see him, let's see him back out on the field? To me, Aaron Rodgers is the biggest tease right now in the NFL. He's the biggest tease in the NFL right now because he's almost holding the franchise hostage, right? If you made that proclamation that you will be back in December and you don't come back, you've got some major, major egg on your face, and you look like a total fool, to be quite honest with you. I think if they win again, you're going to see him practice a little more, and they're going to start to pick up a little bit of juice. And I don't think he's coming back. But again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what the hell the guy took. He's rehabbing his ass off. Who knows what kind of medical miracle it is. But yeah, he comes back and then he tears his Achilles again.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just dumb. Why risk it? Honest to God. I know Bruce Arians, no risk it, no biscuit. I understand that. That's a whole different thing. But you're just a complete idiot if you decide you want to come back because you want to salvage the season. Get yourself 100% healthy. Wait until next year. Because you already know, even if you come back, it could be just something real dumb. Look at, what's the name, down there in Jacksonville? Trevor Lawrence, right? Where he got his ankle rolled. And it was by accident. Who's not to say that the same thing can happen to Aaron Rodgers? But you know what? It's because it's all about me. Me. Yeah. Look at me. Talk to me. I'm going to go over to that ESPNer, that should have stayed away making his own billions upon billions of dollars. But no, you want to go over there and do your thing on ESPN? No, God bless you. But it's funny how he can appear on that show all the time. I'm quite sure he wouldn't miss Jets practice.
Paid. Angel, he's getting paid. He's getting paid $1 million to go on McAfee show.
Yeah, well, then that explains it then.
I mean, listen, at this point, what can he keep saying when he keeps going on the air, right? I mean, he's going to collect that check. They want him because he might say something outlandish. He might say something about the refereeing, the officiating, quarterbacks going down, bad surface, and MetLife. He's going to say something that's going to capture someone's attention. I mean, now everyone's talking about, I pulled this up. We were talking about the officiating and the rules, how they're changing the rules every time in the NFL. Now, they're looking into when you break the goal line. And remember, if you were to fumble and the ball goes in the end zone with the touchback rule and everything. And that happened when Minnesota played the Eagles and Justin Jefferson had that across the pylon. The NFL, they fly by the seat of their pants.
Right.
Every week. Every week it's something different. We will come on the air tomorrow. There's going to be a horrible call tonight. We will come on the air Monday. There's going to be some BS calls. But it's just, there's no rhyme or reason to the league. And Aaron Rodgers is a vocal guy. He has an opinion. And I'm sure when he goes on McAfee, I mean, I stopped watching it after, he got hurt because what more do I really need to hear from him? Is he going to rehab? Or are you going to, I'll believe it when I see it. When you're under center again for the Jets during the regular season, hey man, that's a hell of a job. That's a miracle drug. Whatever the hell they put in your, your calf and whatever. Some of the stuff he was, what was it? Whale semen they were talking about. I don't know. Orca something.
He goes out there, the Atlantic Ocean. He spreads it all over himself. And he finds himself all slippery. It's just, ingests it. What a moron.
I don't even know what the hell it was. Whale blubber. I don't want to know.
It's stupid. Just like I went to this dark room and no one could see me. Oh, gee, let me think about that one, genius. In a dark room, no one could see me. Wow. Really? Man.
I don't know. He just has these epiphanies at this point of his career, right? But, to each his own. He's more of a free thinker and has his own ideology and his own ideas. I got to the point with some of these guys, especially like Rodgers, I was like, all right, I don't really need to know, what you have to say. You had 4 snaps with the Jets. Don't act as though you were there for 10 years and talk about the team and the franchise as if you're really entrenched. Like, come on, dude. He had 4 snaps. That's it. 4 snaps. This was Green Bay. You want to talk about management. You want to talk about the head coach. You want to talk about your teammates. Go. But yeah, I don't. He might be my most despised athlete right now.
Yep, because he did in Green Bay. He did the same things in Green Bay. And the guys, and look, at one point, someone is actually going to be courageous enough to come forward and actually talk about the way he treated people, right? But again, these guys they get put on this pedestal, and no one ever wants to talk about it because, oh no, you can't say that about him. He's the best thing since sliced bread. There was people that talked about Brett Favre after his career was over. Granted, Brett Favre also had turned things around when Reggie White came on. And if you guys missed it on 30 for 30 ESPN, it was on this morning. Tony Bruno made an appearance on there as well. But he talked about the struggle that he had when he got injured, and then he was on drugs. He wouldn't get off it, and Reggie White took him under his wing and made him better. Now, whatever he did post Reggie White's a whole different story. But these guys are just, they're glorified divas. It's all it is. And Aaron Rodgers is no different. I don't care for him. As he probably's done a lot of good. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate the guy. I don't despise the guy. I just don't care for him because it's all about me. How much me talk can you possibly talk about?
Because it's an again, I'll ask you, what is the most prominent position, not just football, but all of sports? So if you look at the NHL, the NBA, you look at basketball, hockey, baseball, football, what's the most under the microscope, magnified, talked about position in all sports?
Quarterback.
There you go. It's an ego-driven position, right? But you also have other attributes, leadership, personality, the fight in you. You're the leader. You're in the huddle. You're taking command. These guys get paid the most money because they are the face of the franchises. And in baseball, you can lose a starting pitcher and win a World Series. In hockey, the old adage is if you have 2 goalkeepers, you really don't have one, but you can win a Stanley Cup. And the list goes on and on. Basketball, you got your 2, you can lose a big man, you're still okay here and there. Football, you lose the quarterback, you're shit out of luck, you're screwed. I'll give you a little pushback on this. With Brett Favre, and I know what you were saying, how with the painkillers and everything, but all that crap he was doing in Mississippi, it was it pretty much borderline fraud. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to take his bust out of Canton now? You're not going to do that.
No.
So, hey, man, these athletes get away with a lot of stuff.
They do. And that's, it's sinful to think that they actually get away with it. And anyways, it is ridiculous. I just think my big gripe with him has always been because he said the way Brett treated him, and then you do the same thing to Jordan Love. Yeah. If you really want to be that teammate, that captain that you supposedly earned, you should be showing Jordan Love, listen, here's how I was treated. I don't want you to be treated the same exact way. But the minute he found out that they drafted Jordan Love, forget about it. All bets were off. It was just ridiculous. And then you go to New York and you do the same exact. I don't know why people had in their brain when he got his hair cut, he cleaned himself up. After he came back from zoology or astrology or stupidology, wherever the hell he went, he comes back and he's like, I'm a changed man. I see the earth is green and Mars is blue. Yeah. I'm here with you, but you're not. It's come on, dude, stop it.
Just stop a little bit. It's a little too over the top, a little bit of an act. But again, no quarterback wants their heir apparent draft. They don't. They really don't.
Well, that was.
Hey, look at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Look at Tom Brady when what's his face that he shipped out to San Fran.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
Yeah. Probably the best decision because Garoppolo stinks. But yes, to your point. But Brady also turned around Tampa Bay first year there, wins a Super Bowl. Although, by the way, he does it in Tampa Stadium. But yes, to your point, they don't. I'm not going to say they don't want the competition. They don't want to waste their time with these guys. They just kind of, when you get to that stage of your career, you don't want to hold hands, right? And then, again, I agree with you. You make a really good point because in New York, he's kind of been different with Zach Wilson. They've coddled this kid, big time. I think Jordan Love's going to be a good quarterback with the Green Bay Packers. I do. But I also can revert back to when the Eagles, the whole Carson Wentz nonsense in Bradford. If you remember at the time, and I believe Doug Peterson at the time told Bradford, look, as long as you play, and you perform well, you don't need to look over your shoulder.
Right.
And, Bradford was a very inconsistent quarterback. He wasn't a good quarterback, and they went to Carson Wentz. And then fast forward, they draft who? Jalen Hurts. And, hey, Carson, as long as you play well, you don't need to look over your shoulder. And then Carson Wentz wanted to pull a Ben Simmons, and they got rid of Carson Wentz. They got Jalen Hurts, and it looks like they have a franchise quarterback. So it's a tough position, man. It's a really tough position. So I can appreciate what a guy like Flacco is doing right now. Good for him.
Right. Because, again, that was a leader. You never heard anything negative from Joe Flacco. He tried his best, did his best. Obviously, brought Baltimore their second Super Bowl. So, you know what? I'm not going to mock the guy. That's why I said it was the thing with when they said if they rated him 1 to 5, I thought that was I thought it was disrespectful. How can this guy won a Super Bowl? Okay, so he's been away from the game a little bit, and it may not work out with the Jets. But either way, when you go to a different team, things happen. Sometimes it gets bad. Sometimes it gets good. It all depends on what team that you're on and the line that's around it. He's been fortunate with Cleveland right now. One game he did well. It could be a possibility. Another game he does really well. That's another $150,000 that he ended up cleaning. You're
talking about the incentives?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he can make up to $4.2
million.
Yeah, I actually I pulled his numbers up that he made in his career. He's made
Are you taking out the abacus?
What's that?
Are you taking out the abacus?
I don't even know. I might have to Google that. Hold on. Calculator?
No.
So his first rookie deal is like 4 years, $12 million. So like 3.1. Then he signed that monster deal. He's made over $215 million in his career.
That's some good coin.
And remember, he was still going through McDonald's drive-thru. That is a lot of super meals. Yeah. So incentive lays $4.2 million with everything. It's not bad, man. For a couple games.
It's not. And then, if you make it to the Super Bowl, that $2 million bonus, listen, you can't mock Joe Flacco for at least attempting to come back. I know they Nick Foles had a phone call to see if he wanted to come back to the NFL, but I think Nick is actually literally done in the NFL. And listen, I don't blame him. Again, you walk away to a Super Bowl ring. Things didn't work out the way they wanted to in Indianapolis, but you know what? It didn't matter. Everyone still loves him. He knows that when he goes back to Philly, he's always going to be well-loved in Philadelphia. I don't care. No, I'll take that back. If you went to Dallas.
No, you're right. He might have had the most bizarre career ever for a quarterback because aside from, 27-2 when he had 7 touchdown passes in the Raiders and then kind of fell off and then he came in for Carson Wentz and we know the rest is history. It's really hasn't really been a good quarterback. No. It just seemed like every time he suited up with the Eagles, he turned into friggin' Joe Montana.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He'll never have to pay for a drink in his life ever again in Philadelphia.
It was, I tell you what, for the experience that I had at the NFC Championship game, courtesy of John Barchard and 94 WIP, when I got surprise tickets, myself and Brian, and Jimmy, I can't forget my brother, Jimmy Seltzer. Love the guy to death. Jimmy's the man. I've been trying to get him back on, but I know he's crazy busy as always. Does a great production job for the boys in the morning. But, that game itself, when you look at Nick Foles, first of all, that game wouldn't have happened if that touchdown would have been done by Atlanta. We were talking about a whole different situation.
You're talking about the last play to Julio Jones.
See.
Yeah.
Yep. If that would have happened, we're talking about a whole different story. And then you look at Minnesota. Minnesota came in, obviously had the first drive, looked great. And then Nick Foles turned it on. And it's the best feeling. Me walking back to my place down there at 4th and Snyder, because people were saying, I can't believe you walk home. Why? You live in a neighborhood, you know who the people are.
Right.
If you're going to be scared and you have to look over your shoulder the entire time, you should live in Philly. It's just that simple. I walked everywhere. There was times when I didn't want to drive up to the Northeast when I had to, when working with SEPTA. So I'd walk down there from 4th and Snyder all the way to Center City, jump on the L, take the L all the way up to Northeast. And I was just fine. Because another time I ended up taking it to see Evanescence in concert when she had her orchestra. She was on a tour with the orchestra. So I got off work, went down to 69 because that was my exchange point anyways. So I would go down to 69th Street Terminal, got off there, went, saw the concert, jumped right back on, went back into Center City, and went home. I was just fine. And
There you
people
go.
just thought, like, I can't believe you.
That game was over after that pick six. And who
Yeah.
the hell had that pick six? He was only winning for like a year or two. Patrick something. He had the pick six, and he weaved through all the Vikings. After that game was over. Oh man.
No, it'll
Just
come to
gonna
me too. It'll happen. What the best part was, because in the very beginning, obviously everybody saw that, all Minnesota Vikings, they put out their arms and skull. The best part was when the Eagles fans started doing it back to them. Oh my God, were the Minnesota fans getting so irritated. It was ridiculous. Although one guy, even though they told him, don't walk through here because you're going to say something, the best bet is just don't say a word. And the boys were on air, and I'm right next to him with everybody else. And all of a sudden, the guy just walks by, mouths off. Jimmy even stopped him. He was like, look, come on. He had him come over there and talk to him. And even after that, the guy was still, just cursing up a storm when he walked away. And then he went through the Eagles lineup heading towards the stadium. The horses came from over where they were at Citizens Bank Park parking lot, came through like Texas Rangers. And that was it. Old boy looked like freaking Rocky's meat locker. It was ridiculous.
I pulled it up. It was Patrick Robinson. He had the 50-yard. After that, they outscored him 28 to or 38-7, whatever the hell it was.
What's up, Jack?
Yo, Jack, checking in. By the way, remind me too on the other side. I have to tell you about the issue that occurred in Newark today.
Ooh, all right.
We have to get into that.
Okay, there's your teaser, folks. There you go. It's coming. It might be a going. I don't know if it'll be as good as Off the Rails, because
no. It's yours was a little more, a little more, fire and kind of look after you shoot. Mine's a little more lighthearted.
Oh,
yours
okay.
was very, deep. It touched me right here. This is a little more lighthearted.
Okay. Well,
soften things up.
We're gonna get into the Hallmark Channel as it is Christmas time.
You mentioned TLC, so I mean, why not?
Yeah, but that's drama.
Yeah.
Hallmark Channel is that, when listen, everybody knows, we can get into that too, because the Hallmark Channel, everybody knows how the story ends. Girl meets boy, boy meets girl. Girl doesn't know who boy is. Boy doesn't know who girl
but Hallmark Channel is also, Lifetime. See, Lifetime, you get a little more of the risque, like Soccer Moms or Soccer Mom,
exactly.
Babysitter Killer, stuff like that, right? Cheerleader Obsession. Like, those are pretty good. You'll flip those on 10, 11 o'clock. Okay, fine. But yeah, the TLC and the Hallmark, I can't do it because you're right. Everyone, at the end of the day, everyone's kumbaya, nice. God forbid someone goes outside, they get hit by an ice cream truck. It doesn't matter. Life still goes on in the Hallmark Channel. That's not reality. It's not reality.
It isn't. It's ridiculous. But who's to say that some people end up liking it? Me personally, no. I'll tune out. That's okay. But anyways, again, thank you everyone who's tuning in here on the social medias. We do appreciate it as we are getting the word out that the Tony Bruno Sports Network is the best sports network on the planet. And don't forget, start your mornings with the Pete Shepard Show, because Pete will get you fired up first thing in the morning. Hang around till 10 o'clock, especially during, number one, all the guests that he has on there. Number two, the comedy clip of the day. And number three, the best part, for Pete. So hang around for Pete Shepard in the morning from 7 to 10, followed by Defo and Luby. Defo and Luby from 10 to 12 mid-mornings. Those guys can be outrageous. Those guys are also going to be a lot of fun. They also could be, I'm telling you, it's just, one day I'm going to find the correct word to describe Defo and Luby. But you guys can listen to them from 10 to 12 right here on the Tony Bruno Sports Network. And then from 12 to 3, it is the best of Tony Bruno, sometimes with Luigi, sometimes with other guests. So listen to that. And then 3 to 6 p.m., Tony Bruno and Miss Robin with the Tony Bruno Show. And it is never a dull moment on the Tony Bruno Show, unless Comcast gets involved, and then it becomes a whole different thing. Then right here, myself, Angel Martinez with Rich Quinones, Martinez Company, 6 to 8 p.m., Monday through Friday, and Monday through Thursday. They leave the Friday off for their savings. It's AJ Johnson and the Bleacher Brothers. They are back tonight from 8 to 10. We did get confirmation, and maybe, just maybe, there'll be a little crossover with AJ. I don't know. We'll see. All right. After the break, we'll get into the Hallmark moment with Richard Quinones from the Hallmark Channel.
I got a brand.
You're listening to Martinez and Company
That's right.
on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Christmas in the island breeze, ra-pa-pam-pam. Pepper lights and coconut trees, ra-pa-pam-pam. Love on the island beaches, ra-pa-pam-pam. Hills and valley through the shining seas, ra-pa-pam-pam. Ra-pa-pam-pam. Christmas in the Jamaican Christmas, ra-pa-pam-pam. When we come, Christmas in the city, come and gather round. Let me take you to Jamaica, ra-pa-pam-pam. Now if you never pay, you're gonna be here long. Don't take them sugar cane from a little island. Sweet like a honey, sorry in a drum. Jamaican black kick is like heaven to your tongue. Oh, watch out for the mistletoe, come on give me some. No rolling in the snow, no standing in the sun cause. So when you take a trip down to my island, cause there's nothing like Christmas on my island. I've been around the world and traveled across the globe. I wanna take it right back home for Christmas. Christmas in the island breeze, ra-pa-pam-pam. Hey! Pepper lights and coconut trees, ra-pa-pam-pam. Let's go! Lay out on the island beaches, ra-pa-pam-pam. Hills and valleys through the shining seas, ra-pa-pam-pam. Ra-pa-pam-pam. Christmas on the island. Let's have a Jamaican Christmas, ra-pa-pam-pam. When we come. There's nothing like a tree Christmas. I wanna be right here for the Christmas. Yeah, fire in here, that's a fiction. You might find Santa Claus on a Kingston. I don't know about elves and Jack Frost, but you can ride down the river on a cool rock. With your girlfriend, come and she no stop laugh. Kick off the shoes and make the food. Hey, now when they bring me, take a trip down to my island. Cause there's nothing like Christmas on my island. I've been around the globe, travel around the globe. Everybody wants that for Christmas. Christmas in the island breeze, ra-pa-pam-pam. Say what? Hey! Where people lights and coconut trees, ra-pa-pam-pam. Say what? Hey! Well, lay out on the island beaches, ra-pa-pam-pam. Hills and valleys through the shining seas, ra-pa-pam-pam. Ra-pa-pam-pam. Christmas on the island. Let's have a Jamaican Christmas, ra-pa-pam-pam.
Now, back to Martinez and Company
Always playing my part.
on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Tom Boxer, Morena, let's go.
You will make me fall in love, deep in love, far away. You will make me fall in love, deep in love, far away.
Hey, there's nothing in this world that can take me from my girl. I got a heart screaming, oh, I could be falling for love, but that ain't good enough. Baby, I'm falling for love, I'm falling in love. Let's go. Morena, talk to me.
I'm from Venus, you're from Mars. When we're together, we create stars. Falling down from there, falling down from
Listen, I'm telling you, you gotta have fun when it comes to the music. If you guys
Oh, you're
listen
that
to
guy
this
in the
radio-
club, are you? You are that guy in the. You are that guy. It doesn't matter whether you're with someone or not. You're the one on the floor dancing by themselves.
That's right.
Absolutely love it.
I've done it many a times. Believe me. I've done it. Listen, okay, different time, different place. So by the way, first of all, welcome back to Martinez Company here. Rich Quinones, Angel Martinez. Martinez Company here Monday through Friday live in stereo and in living color. You guys, the phone lines, the text lines are open, 844-644-8669. Once again, 844-644-8669. Sean, I will get your comment here momentarily. What's up, guys? Thank you for coming back here. The one thing, so years ago, again, for those who don't know, if you're brand new here to the show, Brian and Jack and a couple of guys might end up learning a couple things here. So I was a nerd, but I love to dance. And inside the studio here, one of these days, I'm going to set up a separate camera. So when we come back live, I'm going to have the disco ball going. I'm going to show some dance moves, but we'll get there. No, it'll happen. Maybe a little green screen in the back to make it seem like I'm, in the club with everybody else. But so I walked in and, went by myself. Because the music they played in the clubs, you wouldn't hear it on the radio. It would be like months later. So I loved music, especially when it came to dance music. So I went, I'm on the dance floor. My cousin met me over there. This was at, goodness gracious. What's the one on Delaware Avenue? It had like a pterodactyl or something on the outside.
Off
Club Egypt, maybe?
Oh, I mean, Egypt. Yeah, that was off Delaware Avenue.
Yep. I think it was because across the street was the Electric Factory before he shut that down. But
yeah.
Anyways, so I go in there and I really wanted to dance. So I used to go by myself on a dance floor. I didn't care because people looked at me like I was freaking halfway stupid. What did I care? I was having fun. So the one time there was a group of girls, and I just figured, all right, you know what? I'm just going to walk up to her and just see, just politely ask her, to go dance. So I walked up and I said, excuse me, would you like to dance? And she looked me up and down like I was just some freaking dirtball. And she's like, never. I was like, okay.
Passing judgment on you.
Right. So I walked away, but I quickly came back and I said, oh, I'm sorry. You misunderstood me. I said, you look fat in those pants, and walked away to the dance floor. You're welcome. That's right. It worked because she was like, oh, I can't believe he said that.
Yeah,
well,
I see you going over the bridge. I see you going over Walt Whitman or Ben Franklin right down 70 and probably hitting Top Dog back in the day.
No, what was the other one though? But I did go to the one in Jersey. It was in Pennsauken and Cherry Hill. Huh?
There was Top Dog and there was Prospectors. Iguana.
There you go. Yep. There you go. Back in the day knowledge.
I can see. Would you have your Z Cavaricis on?
I sure did. My gator shoes, bro. I was kicking it live, even if I was by myself. It looked like the biggest idiot, but I didn't care. By the way, which brings you to another story. So we end up having, a friend of mine back home, loved him to death, man. He was nuts. Alex was a great guy, but he was absolutely nuts. So we ended up buying this Ford Escort. It was a piece of crap. We knew it.
You bought an Escort?
Yeah.
An Escort?
Yes. Ford Escort.
Oh, Ford Escort. Okay.
See. No, not an Escort like an Escort.
Hey, man.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It's like the two Utes. What's a Ute? Yeah.
Well, I wear the suit. You've seen it. I have it.
But the only place in town that was available.
Go ahead.
The AJ says, Angel, we still look at you like you're half stupid.
No, you're good. You're good. No, tell me the Ford Escort. Finish.
No, but he says, but it's radio and you can't see us. Just saying. So that was, listen, AJ's got the comment of the night. I got to give it to him because also Brian says shows the moves now. And Sean, I'll get to you in a second. So we bought this thing. It was $400, right? And we figured, all right, we go to Jersey a bunch of times. Instead of just taking our cars, why don't we just take this thing? So we're going across the Ben Franklin Bridge. Now, mind you, yes, not everything was done the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
We spent $400, and back in the day, you would get the Pennsylvania tags.
Yep.
They were a tag, but they weren't a tag. So
100%.
we go over the bridge, go to Jersey, have a great time. As we're coming back over the bridge, the car starts sputtering and juddering and everything else. Like, this probably ain't good. Now, mind you, we're dressed like two Goombas in a friggin' Ford Escort that only cost us $400. So we get right to the crest of the bridge and we figure, all right, if we could get just enough over, we can coast it down. By this time, it's like 3:30 in the morning. Well, here comes the bridge police.
Yep.
Right? The Delaware River Port Authority.
I was about to just say that. Yep. Hit the siren. You're done.
So he comes over. He goes, is everything all right? I said, well, it's funny. We were just coming from Jersey, obviously, and the car just gave away. He's like, you know what happened? I'm like, no. I mean, I just bought it not too long ago, so I don't know. Maybe it needs a tune-up or something else. And he goes, all right. So he looked in the car, and it was clear windows. So I told him, I said, if you want me to, I can reach in the back and you can watch my hand and I'll just roll the window down. He said, no, I can see right through it. He goes, no problem. He goes, well, actually, do you mind if I open up the back door? No, go ahead. So flashlight the whole 9 yards. So he says, all right, well, here's the deal. I don't want to hold up the traffic, even though there isn't much at this point, but we don't have our wrecker. So how about if I just push your car enough, if you don't mind, and then I'll just stay behind you. And I was like, okay. Gets in his car. As it's going over the hill, I thought, man, we are screwed. Good Lord Almighty, are we screwed? So we get to the bottom, make the hard right. This is before they put the center, we did a center intersection there. And he gets out the car. He goes, yeah, you think it's going to be safe there? I'm like, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not from this particular area here, so I don't know. He goes, all right. He goes, I would ask you for your driver's license and your insurance and all that good fun stuff, but you're already having a bad night. Plus, you guys look at you came from the military. And the way I'm thinking about it, you probably weren't picking up too many good women. So how about you guys have yourself a great night? I was like, good God almighty. This dude, really? Wow. What am I going to say? I'm not going to argue with him. I'm like, all right, thank you, officer. Because at that point, we just left the car and goodbye. See you later.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That's good.
So you guys are welcome. That is not brought to you by the Hallmark Channel. And speaking of, Sean, great friend of the show, says, what are your thoughts this Monday? Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Let me go back to the other one. Pardon my apology here. What's up, guys? My wife watches Lifetime Christmas Stories. Come on, guys. He's laughing. But it is what it is. It's honestly, come on. Stop it. Every movie ends the same. Every stinking movie.
Yeah, they need, if I'm going to watch Hallmark, then you know what? Have a story like A Christmas Story where the husband walks in and the wife is messing around with Santa. Like, that's not funny. That's not a Hallmark moment. Like, give me that kind of train wreck, right? Yep. Give me a little adversity. Santa's, his ass is stuck going back up the chimney. He's peeking through the back, seeing if the husband comes in. We want some drama. We want something like that. Not, thank God you're home after 25 years and you floated away and now you've come back and everyone have warm cookies and milk. No, skip that shit. No.
Exactly.
No,
ridiculous.
Drama. That's what we need.
Right. Sean says, by the way, what are your thoughts on this Monday matchup versus Seattle Monday night? Confidence level 1 to 10. I'm going to go with an 8. And then, hold on, I'll get the other one here from Sean as he says, clubs, Egypt, Deco, Maui, Bob, nightclub, all good ones. And then what was the other train wreck on right there by the airport? That it wasn't a club per se. It was the like an adult club. It was a sham. It's right by the airport. Sean, if you're listening, you can probably help me out here.
I can tell you right now, like when I go in there to do the fights, I'll go like I'm going to the airport. But then when I turn left, now you have cheerleaders on the left. And then I make my right down right on Swanson where the 2300 arena is, the old ECW arena. Yep. Yeah, that's the only gentleman. And there used to be Wizards, which I used to DJ at, which was off Chestnut Street. Underground.
No, this place was, so if you're heading towards Delco, there's come on, brain, think. It was right by the airport, and there's the Wawa's right across the street. It'll come to me. Tony, I think, talked about it like one of his best stuffs or whatever, but I forget.
So I got some good Facebook guys chiming in, listening to the show. Cody chimes in, guys, loving the show, very entertaining. Talking about Giannis, I can never imagine Michael Jordan doing that, or Kobe. That being said, it was some really bad stuff that went on in the hallway. Not a good role model for the kids. Mario chimes in, you guys have me rolling and laughing my ass off. With all fairness, the losing team should have made that decision to give the ball to not give the ball to a rookie scoring his first point. Plus, the Bucks were the home team. Giannis should have had security deal with it. And Sean said, you guys are a riot. Going back to Giannis, the Pacers were being petty by giving that ball to a rookie on a losing night effort. Ball should have been given to him at the end of the game. He broke a record. I get the antics were over the top. Difference is he is not hitting players in the game and not playing basketball. This was after the game, and the Pacers organization were being petty about it. Mark Cuban actually came out and said he would have gave the game ball to he said, I'd give the game ball to the rookie. With situations like that, I'd take the box score. I'd get his teammates to sign it, and I'd frame it for him. Remember when Wilt scored 100?
Yeah.
He had the piece of paper with 100 written on it.
Yep.
I get it. I mean, I get all different angles on it. And my confidence level right now, I'll let you know tomorrow on the Eagles in Seattle.
Yeah. No, mine too, because
I don't have a feel for the game yet. I really don't.
No, I'm right in the same boat. I really don't either, because at this point, I don't start getting the feels until tomorrow. Because last week, I've in the very beginning, when we talked about it as far as with Dallas, and then when because you were doing a boxing match last week.
I was on the road Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, Dave convinced me that the Eagles were going to win. So in the beginning of the week, I was like, no, it's not going to happen. And he convinced me they're going to win. And then, of course, they let me down. But again, it was going to be a split. There was no way the Eagles were going to be able to win it in Dallas. And that was, again, before the season started, way before the season started, it was going to be a split. For me, personally, it was going to be a split. But the way Dallas has been playing this year at home, it would have been tough. Joey B says, good evening, fellas. Late tuning in. And also, Joey B says, NBA, no basketball association. They want the soap opera and the sound bites clown show.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can't argue. By the way, Dallas was beating people at home by like 40 freaking points.
Yeah. Yep.
And they probably could have put up 50 against the Eagles.
Could have. Definitely for sure. Right. And a text comes in from AJ, I believe excuse me. Yeah, AJ in San Antonio. That game ball shouldn't have gone to Giannis, but given to Angel instead to cheer him up after what the cop said to him. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy.
I mean, but think about it like this. You got humbled. Your ego was busted and broke, but you got out unscathed without a ticket.
Correct.
We all know this. When you're freaking coming home, whether you're smoking and joking, and God forbid if it lit back in the day, and let's be honest, we were all stupid. We were all jackasses. We were all clowns. We were all fools. We all did stupid stuff. And we think back, man, we really got out of that one. We're lucky, right? I mean, that's just the facts of life. But you know that Delaware River Authority, those friggin', oh, man.
They don't play.
You are, and you know, right around like Pennsauken where the Circle is, because I love back in the day, the pub, great restaurant, right? Unbelievable.
Yep, was great.
I mean, the raisin bread, just to die for, the ribs, everything. But the Circle, man, I'm telling you, sometimes, you know, when you're in your 20s and you're driving to that, and if you had one or two foolishly, the Circle, you keep going around and around. Then you start to realize, where am I going? Am I going back towards Tacony Palmyra? Am I going back towards Camden? Am I going back to 70 and Cherry Hill? And you're going the wrong way. Shit is just an absolute disaster and debacle. That Circle reminds me, because where the cops were always perched out for years, it reminds me of driving over the bridges. And you know, once you go through, right, when you come up like over Ben Franklin, like 76, 676, now it's like Fast and the Furious, to be honest with you. The cars drive 150 miles per hour. It's ridiculous. But once you go and you're coming over the bridge, you always see the cops just perched.
Yep.
Like right there. And then, you know, that's when everyone's, you know, all of a sudden you're like, yeah.
Yep.
You know how you do the fake?
Yep.
You know? I mean, it's like they know exactly what we're doing.
Of course. But by the way, and for those who are listening in, if you live anywhere other than the armpit of America, also known as New Jersey, of course I kid, because in Philly, that's what we called it all the time. But the funny thing is, so if you live in Jersey, don't expect to do left turns. They don't do left turns in Jersey. They do jug handles. That's why they called it the jug handle in for that simple reason.
That's not true. And that's the second shot you took at the Garden State, and I will not stand Laguana.
Yep, that's what it was.
Laguana turned into top dog.
Yeah, yep. That's why I couldn't remember the name of it. Joey B says all roundabouts for Angel. What was it? And Deb in Tampa lead to the beach. That is absolutely truth. Absolutely truth. And Brian says, best show I've seen. Thank you, Angel, for all the truth. Need more of that. Thanks to Q for all the knowledge. This is a 1-2 punch is fire. Listen, Brian, first of all, thank you for coming back each day. We do appreciate it, along with Joey B, Sean, and everybody else. But thank you for the compliment. That's I got to frame that one. I'm gonna have to take it out. Matter of fact, here we go. We're gonna do a screenshot.
You know let's you do that. Let's pump you up a little more. And while you're at it, why don't you have me on the third square? Seriously, put me on the third square.
All right. Remember you said that, because if I have you on the third,
I just wanted. Listen. I'm a creature of habit, man. This is your show. Martinez and Company. I'm the passenger, but this threw me off tonight.
So the only reason why I did, and for those who can't see us because you're listening on the digital,
you know why?
Radio
because
app.
I think it's almost, I take this as you looking down upon my sports opinions. Like,
no, what ended up happening was, so it was last night, apparently on Instagram, the reason why a lot of people didn't stay around is because, and then you said, remember you made the comment about your agent that you'll be half out of the picture? Well, apparently, because I was on landscape, it wouldn't show you. Everybody could hear you, but they couldn't see
hold
you.
on a second. Then the guys that listen to me on the radio for years that'll chime in, they'll let you know, I need my equal FaceTime, man. I can tell you that right now.
Well, and that's why I put it in portrait mode today.
All right. That's fair. I think it's still bullshit, but that's fair.
Well, listen, tell Instagram to change their freaking layout. Stop making everything portrait.
Yeah, that's a tough nut to crack there with doing that stuff on IG. After a while, it's just like you got to connect. We need to connect everything together, right? everything where you just blast it out and it's on 26,000 different platforms and you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about me getting on you about equal camera and FaceTime. I'm having people take snaps and they're wondering, they're like, what's the deal? Why is Angel's up here? And now, we're with you right here. But no, great engagement tonight. Facebook, Twitter, and everyone listening. So absolutely.
No, the texts have been coming in hot and heavy because AJ in San Antonio says this shows a on-2 punch to the nuts. You didn't finish that dude's text. Which one? I thought I did Brian's one, right? Because Brian said,
what did he say?
Okay, I'm trying to make it says
1-2 punch is fire. Best show I've seen. Thank you, Angel, for all the truth. Need more of that. Thanks to Q. You look wonderfully good looking on camera. You have all the knowledge. I just threw that out there. This is 1-2 punch is fire. There you go. I mean, what more? The people have spoken, Angel.
They have.
The people have, and it's only because we just kind of poked you a little bit at 6:05, and then you just got wound up and you just went.
That's it.
You want Angel on that wall. You need Angel on that wall.
It just happened. By the way, Jamal comes back and says, don't hit on Jersey. Full respect to both of you. Thank you. Listen, Jamal, thank you for the text, and AJ and everybody else. We do appreciate it. But no, listen, I don't hate on Jersey. Listen, if the tri-state area wasn't around here in America, you guys would have nothing else to talk about because everybody knows if you were from South Jersey, you hated Philly.
Correct.
South Jersey, a lot of times, didn't like folks from North Jersey. Just the way it was. The center part of Jersey, it was there.
So funny thing you mentioned that, right? Because I was born in New York. I was born in White Plains and lived in Rockland County, Rochester, New York. Then I moved to Jersey, South Jersey. And, when we say South Jersey, the Jersey Shore, and I've been down here outside Atlantic City for like 10 plus years. But you're right. And the ducks are letting me know too. That's my alarm. It's almost for refill. But your point is, because I had so many family and friends that were also Philly fans, and then family and friends that were New York fans, growing up, I bleed in New York sports, but I got very familiar with the Philly stuff. So people will sit there and say, how do you know so much about Philly sports? When, again, South Jersey, Mount Laurel, right? You're getting all the games. I got, Flyers on PH-17. You got the Eagles all the time. Hell, we used to get WOR with the Mets, WPIX with the Yankees, WGN with the Chicago Cubs, Prism. We would always get Flyers and the Sixers, always got the Eagles games, right? And if you were lucky, you were going to get maybe 6 or 7 Giant games on TV. So it's just unique for me because I'll rattle off stuff and someone's like, I thought you were, a New York fan. Well, it's because I know the history as well because I lived through it. But yes, it was always South Jersey and then North Jersey a little more. So you're more centric for your New York fans. So
correct.
But, it's not really the armpit. I mean, it's shaped like a mailman. Leave the state alone.
It is. I will say that much. It is shaped like a mailman. But AJ from San Antonio says, to clarify, this show is a 1-2 punch to the nuts. And so he wanted to clarify that.
We're going to take that as a compliment.
We do. We take everything as a compliment. So it's the way it works around here.
Yeah.
Because again, we are the BHS. And those who don't know, tune in to a couple of shows ago where we explain it thoroughly. And there will be T-shirts coming out. It may be signed by both. Oh, excuse me. If it's going to be signed, it has to be signed by Money Man Rich, as Penguin AZ talked about yesterday.
Listen, I might have a nice little connection from a guy that knows a guy to maybe get a little merch.
All right. That's good. Does it fall off the back of the truck?
I'm
taking it as a yes. All right.
Oh, I mean, listen, I can tell you right now. I mean, when I had my little Malibu back in the day,
right?
I worked with these guys in a warehouse, and they were all from Puerto Rico. They were all Puerto Rican guys. Loved them to death. And actually, coincidentally, one of them was named Angel, and his cousin Eduardo. So I told him, hey, man, can you tint my windows? They're like, yeah, bring it over to Camden. Went over to Camden, Federal Street, had the barbecue, blah, 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 blah. They're like, hey, pay us in Corona. Not a problem. Part or stereotype. Sorry about that. But anyway, they said, hey, leave your car right here. I said, do you need me to pull it up? They said, no. So they attached all the wires, the extension cords, and they had the little X-Acto knife. They cut out the paper, and then they friggin' they pulled the hair dryer from downstairs with the long cord, and they hair dried the card, the glue, to make everything, dry. Long story short, we were done. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. It's the first time I sat in the car that was tinted Angel. It was like fucking 3 a.m. dark. I could not see out of the car. And I got pulled over that night, and the first thing the cop said to me is, you got to get rid of the tint.
Unbelievable. See, that's a lesson learned. That's what happens, though. It's okay. Well, money well spent, but then taken off at the same time. But as quickly as the night went away, it is the end of the fourth quarter. Also the end of Martinez Company. We thank you all for tuning in, especially over at Diggs and Twitch. Everybody else here that checked us out on the social medias, along with everyone. So AJ Johnson, don't forget, the Bleacher Brothers will be on the app. Okay, you guys listen to the Tony Bruno Sports Network app here, so you guys don't miss AJ Johnson, the Bleacher Brothers, coming on between 8 and 10. Start your morning with Pete Shepard from 7 to 10 a.m., followed by Defo Luby from 10 to 12. Tony Bruno and Miss Robin, not only on the best of, but then again, from 3 to 6, Martinez Company right here from 6 to 8. We will talk to you guys tomorrow. It is quickly a good night.
There's only one real place for total sports. That's the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Use the AccuWeather app, you'll see one thing you don't see in any other weather app. AccuWeather's exclusive Real Feel temperature. Real Feel sun and Real Feel shade temperatures combine more than a dozen factors to provide an accurate measure of how weather conditions really feel to an
Righty. Okay, everybody, thank you so much who tune in here, not only on Facebook, on Twitch, over on Tony Bruno Sports Network page, over at Tampa Joe's, Broad Street South, just everywhere. We can't thank you guys enough for coming back each and every day. I do see a comment because last night I know I cut somebody off. Brian says, great show, fellas. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you for all the comments. You guys, listen, this show doesn't happen without you guys. And I've been saying it when I started my network over on Broad Street South. You guys can't see the whole display back here, but one day I'll put it on a second camera. You guys will be able to see the whole display I have here in the back. But I've said it from day one when I created Broad Street South and Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game. The day that this is no longer fun is the day that I stopped doing it. And the great thing has been picking up Q. It's been a lot of fun as we feed off each other well, and that's because we've gotten to know each other really well in the past couple of years, and we help each other out, and he knows it, that we've shared so many different ideas, and we'll continue to do so because, again, you work well with others, and you never know where life ends up taking you. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Once again, we'll be back here tomorrow to close out the week because AJ Johnson and the Bleacher Brothers will not be back tomorrow because they're not on Fridays. They're on only Monday through Thursday. So we'll be back tomorrow night, 6 to 8 p.m. We do appreciate it. And I'll change the landscape. Therefore, you won't feel like I'm looking down on you.
You know what? I'm happy tonight because typically when you do this like post yapping, my microphone's always friggin' off. Now my microphone. So, no, I like it. You know what? This motivates me now. This motivates me to just up the ante. How we have the circle gets a square.
It's okay. Again, listen, I was trying to make the folks from IG happy.
And you do what you need to do, my friend. It's your world, baby. It's your world. Do what you need to do.
The fun part is going to be to squeeze Dave in here tomorrow if I keep it like this.
Oh, poor Delco.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull him in like a cane. Right?
Oh, man. He'll be all right. We'll make it.
Never know. So Delco Dave will be with us tomorrow as he is on Friday nights. We have a great time with Delco Dave. The first time around with Rich, it was great. If you guys missed that one, that was a lot of fun. You guys might have to go back and watch that one. It was 2 Fridays ago when Rich famously said, "You're a hockey guy." And I'll just leave it at that. So you guys got to go back, check out the YouTube channel, go to broadstsouth.com, check out the YouTube channel, and you'll see when Delco Dave was on Rich, that was a golden moment. Matter of fact, it's so golden, it's already had over 800 plus views and still growing because it was so much fun. But it happens. That's what we do here at Martinez Company.
You know what? In hindsight, that was kind of a douchey comment by me. I meant it, a genuine comment, but it kind of came off a little dickish. I admit that came off a little bit.
But listen, he made the best of it. That was the best part. He's
made the best of it. I like him now. I look forward to tomorrow.
He made the best, and that's all that matters. So again, thank you everybody who tuned in on the YouTube, also on Tony's page, again on Twitter. We thank you guys. again, there's going to be a little bonus coming up tonight on Broad Street South at 8:30. So if you guys want to tune into that, you can go ahead and tune in over there as well. That's at broadstsouth.com. And then that starts over at 8:30, as not only do I obviously host a show here with my co-host, I also produce a couple other shows. So I'm just constantly busy. On the weekends, I tend to sleep for about 2 hours. And then the weekend, it fires up and starts all over again. But you will not catch me at the Jersey Shore during wintertime because it's way too cold. This is where Rich needs to be, where it's nice and toasty in the winter. Just saying.
28 degrees right now, brother. 28 degrees.
No, that's okay. You can have it. I appreciate it though. I don't like the chills. Now, the only chills that I like is at the very beginning when the music starts. That's about it, because you get the you got to put the coat on because he's ice. It'll give you chills. So, anyways, thank you to everyone once again. We appreciate it. Don't forget, after the show is over, if you guys send text in, it'll come on AJ's show. But if you guys would like to call, leave a voicemail, you guys can do so at 844-644-8669. Leave a voicemail. Let the family know. Let Tony, Miss Robin know how you guys are liking the show, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. It's always great to hear from you guys. So you guys can do that. Also reach out to us on social media. Rich Q on Twitter. For myself, Broad ST South POD, Broad ST South Pod. And then just let us know. So we will see you right back here. I can't say bright and early, I guess late in the afternoon, but It is Friday, and we'll pump up the music just a little bit more. So thank you all. We appreciate it. Have yourself a great night. And I didn't get a chance to say it at the end of our show normally because the quick out was coming. Don't forget, if you drink and drive, please arrive alive. Hand the keys off to somebody else. It is not worth you risking your own life or anyone else, especially during the holidays. So have a great night, you guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah, it's a handful. Now I got to get the other show ready. Because since Ryan, I told him not to have the guest over on